Hello, welcome to this video. So in this video, I'm gonna introduce you to Bootstrap 4. So Bootstrap 4 is something you're gonna work with a lot in the web design industry. It's very popular framework, and the framework in CSS and HTML is basically a pre-built design and foundation of HTML and CSS. So it's basically stuff like navigation bar that's already made, and then you can customize it to your need. So one of the important thing about web design and development in general is to be able to read documentation and how that works. And I know a lot of you probably already have an idea of how it works, but I think this is a good way to get started. So first of all, inside Bootstrap website, which is on getbootstrap.com, you will come into here. And in here you will be able to find everything from introduction, how to get started, a starter template with hello world here, and you will also have the opportunity to read about different rules and different things they use and why they use it. And there's also the community down here. So that's what you find on the introduction page. Then you can go in and actually download everything there. Just gonna turn down my fans pretty quickly. Okay, good. And you can download the files from here, or you can choose to install it via CDN, which is an external link that only requires internet connection. And since when your website is going to be public, that's not going to be any problem for anyone to access it. The only downside is if you do work offline and you're using external sources, they will not be loaded. You can also use a package manager, which is not something we're going to get into in this course at the moment. And you can also install it in different other kind of way, but again, not anything we need to get into at the moment. Then you also have where the different content is. This is more advanced, so again, not anything you need to go into. And then there's JavaScript theming and so on. But what is actually interesting for us here, because we're doing it on a very basic level, is first of all the version, because you might be in the scenario that someone has asked you to do something with a certain version, and upgrading could have some negative impact, or for some reason you shouldn't upgrade it. But then you can go in here and read the documentation for the different version, and then you will be able to find out what the different version has as functionalities, because one version that's newer might have more functionalities, whereas 3.4.1 has way fewer functionalities. And that could happen that you would end up reading the documentation of 3.4.1 because upgrading to the new version is a bit more complicated if you have a lot of things playing into that. So we have layout in here. There's the introduction to the container. So let's get started and let's look at a container. So let's open up Visual Studio Code, and this is both an introduction but also just getting started with Bootstrap 4. So this is going to be one of the longer videos in this course. Okay, so let's create a new file. You can do that by clicking Control or CMD new, or you can go up here and click new file, and let's save this as index.html. Let's go into documents, Bootstrap, index.html, and let's put that into our workspace. Great. So now we have this workspace. It does mean all of files is within here. So if we go in here now, what we can do is we can actually just go into the getting started, the introduction page. And there we have a starter template, which basically load in every single thing you need to get started. So we have the loading the CSS file, the JavaScript files, which we're not gonna get much into in this course, and the title, and also just this one, which is really important for responsive design. This tells the browser that you can scale it, and I'm gonna get into that in another part of the course, but this is important for responsive design. Okay, great. So what we want to do now is we want to look at what the container is. So you notice here I'm just typing .container. That's because I'm using the tab element. In this browser, in this editor, you can use tab to actually create a div. So you can just write, for example, hashtag ID tab, and this will happen, or .id tab, and this will happen. Or you can say p.text, and this will happen. And it's just a tab button. This will actually make you write code faster, in my opinion. So let's just do like this. And then inside our documents folder down here in Bootstrap, let's open this with Google Chrome. And you can see it's already centered. I didn't write any CSS behind it. This is all this class Bootstrap, which is from the CSS file here. All of it is loaded from the CSS file. And this is then centering everything in here. And then you can see the spacing here is getting smaller when you resize it, so it will match the screen size better, so it's easier to read and to see what content is on the website. So basically that is what the container do. It sets a width for every for how big the container should be, and then it's basically put every element inside it, which is quite good because some websites, especially on bigger screens, it's not very nice to read on when it's 100% width. Like if everything is out here and tuned like that, it's easier to read if there's like some spacing between. So, and it's centered as well, so that's also making it easier. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you learned some valuable information, and see you in the next video.